A couple learns, you get what you pay for. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. I thought we'd have a look at this article because, well, it's an interesting one. I think it's a lesson in you get what you pay for. You know, sometimes cheapest isn't always the best. So, foul messages from photographer revealed after newlyweds' heartbreak. When couple Natasha and Ryan hired a friend, and that's your first mistake there. You shouldn't be hiring a friend for this. To be part of their wedding day, they could never have imagined how much they would come to regret it. Well, a lot of you can. I mean, for a wedding, food and photography, they're the two things I'd spend money on. Okay, everything else, you go cheap. You go real cheap. But I'd spend money on food, I'll spend money on photography. We spent $2,500 on the photography for our wedding over a decade ago. And if we jump here, I'll show you a photo. There's me looking a lot younger, and Rachel. This is we had our wedding down in Northern Rivers, down in New South Wales, and at Mobar, and we went to a pub between the ceremony. We got married in a park, and the art gallery where we had the reception, and we stopped off at the pub for a few drinks and some other photographs with the rest of the wedding party. And, you know, we decided to have fun on a swing there. I've actually lost weight since then, or maybe I'm back around that level. I should check without the beard. But there you go. The beard wasn't grey back then, guys. It shows you. So we engaged a professional. We were really happy with their services. It was worth it. It was worth it. And if we have a look, I mean, we'll jump here. I mean, you can see all the different photos we had of the wedding, family, friends, this type of stuff, signing the registry even beforehand. So we spent the money on getting a good photographer there. I mean, you can see here the park where we had the wedding. That cost us like $50. So, you know, that was pretty good under a big tree. And we just had beers we were handing out to everyone, and it was a lovely wedding. We're still married. And that's the thing. You want to spend money on the photography, okay? Spend extra on the photography, cut back on other stuff you don't need. So, I mean, Rachel's dress was handmade. She made it herself. So, what was meant to be the best day of their lives has been permanently tarnished for Queensland newlyweds Natasha and Ryan, who may never see the only photos taken on their wedding. They paid flawless photography, operated by Ricky Lee Johnson, $500. See, that's nothing. $500 is nothing. It's not worth it. Not enough. To capture special moments for 3 hours of their big day on August 13. But 3 months on, they still have nothing to show for it. And, I mean, here's the thing. They've gone to news.com now. There's an article about it. This photographer is going to get hammered for it. So if they're your friend, they must be in a really bad relationship if they're going to this point. But $500 is not enough for photography because you've got to go there. I mean, you've got expensive equipment to do photography. You've got to go there for 3 hours. Then you've got your post-production. I mean, we didn't pay for an album. You know, they'd get you to pay an album and make it all pretty, and we didn't need that because, I mean, when are we looking at photographs now? It's usually with the kids online or on the screen, that type of stuff. The pair became locked in an ugly feud with Miss Johnson in the weeks that followed their wedding, during which they said their previous close relationship had completely changed. It was like she didn't care anymore. Natasha, who was only wished to share her first name, told news.com.au. So they had an engagement shoot. Say they were ripped off by their wedding photographer. Why were they ripped off? I mean, that's a nice photo they've got there. Do you have engagement shoots? Maybe that's a new thing. I'm old now. I'm officially old. We had an engagement party where we invited a lot more people, and we had an old German tradition where you're meant to bring dishes and smash them. So everyone has to smash the dishes, and we have to clean them all up. So we went to really cheap places. op shops and bought all these old dishes and smashed them all up, and Rachel and I had to sweep them up and clean them away. It was fun. Natasha and Ryan wanted guests to experience their ceremony fully, so asked that phones not be used, a request they now wish they could go back on. See, that I can understand why you would ask people that, but also, it doesn't hurt for them to take a few shots too. We asked the celebrant to tell everyone to turn off their phones. But now we don't even have backup photos from the guests. She upset me to the point where I don't even like talking about my wedding anymore. Natasha and Miss Johnson, in the lead up to the wedding, struck up what the bride thought was a close friendship. Okay. Miss Johnson agreed to MC the couple's reception as a favour for them, and also did a morning shoot of the bride getting ready for free. Since the relationship soured, however, Miss Johnson demanded she be paid $500 for the work she originally agreed to do as a friend. It's only $500. So she... Why would you... Yeah, how long was the friendship? How well do you know them? Red flags initially slowly appeared as the wedding grew closer, when the couple claimed Miss Johnson didn't show up to meetings arranged to discuss the style of photos she will be taking. Well, then you got to fire her. You got to fire her and hire a professional. You got to keep these things separate. $500 is not enough for a wedding photographer. The one we went to... hang on, let me... Nope. Anyway, we went to a good photographer because, well, we're architects. We're used to the value of photography. $500 is just nothing, okay? They eventually had a 30-minute phone call a few days before the wedding, during which Miss Johnson ensured Natasha she would have no trouble capturing photos in her preferred style. When the day arrived, however, the couple grew more concerned. She was a bit all over the place. She didn't allocate her time correctly, Natasha said. The couple say Miss Johnson didn't begin taking photos of the couple until there was only 20 minutes left of the 3 hours they hired her for. Well... Oh... Why did they hire her? Afterwards, she sent the couple a few rough photos and pledged she would have the rest ready to hand over in the coming 8 to 10 weeks? 14 at most? What? 14 at most? That's insane. It doesn't take that long. Maybe a month? 4 weeks? When the 14th week passed and still the couple had nothing, they pressed her to find out why, a move that seemed to enrage Miss Johnson beyond what they could have ever expected. It was excuse after excuse. She didn't have any photos. And she turned nasty and said she gave me a real low rate and I shouldn't be so bossy and rude asking for my photos all the time, Natasha said. Okay, so the photographer is pissed off that she's not getting paid enough. She probably knows she's not getting paid enough. $500 is bugger all. It's not worth her time. So here's the thing. If you do a job for someone as a professional and you quote a rate, doesn't matter if it's not. You may be able to go and renegotiate. And that can happen. Rarely, it can, but it's all on you. You've provided the service. You've agreed to the rate. You've got to deal with it. You're a business owner now. You're not an employee. There's not someone else holding your hand. You've got to deal with the shit that you cast. That's part of life. So, after posting an unflattering review of the business to a local Facebook page, the couple began receiving messages from Miss Johnson. Well, thank you for posting everything publicly. Shows what kind of people you are. Well, this is the problem. It's expect some people to turn up to your house and return the favor. Or what? So she's threatening them. So this woman's a sociopath. A message sent by Miss Johnson's phone shared with news.com that read, expect some people to turn up to your house. So, that's a threat. You should call the police. Okay? If this person is nuts, you want to, at very least, call the coppers so there's a record of it. Come on. Facebook messages sent to Natasha had a similar theme. This is on you guys because you publicly posted. They were in your name, one read. Oh, and don't forget the other photos and videos I took for you as well. So if you want your photos and all this, and this over, remove all posts. The more Ryan posts, the more delays. Miss Johnson was further upset when asked by Natasha to stop contacting her unless it was to hand over the wedding photos. Yeah, well, this woman is like completely insane. This is not what you want on your wedding. This is not what you want on your wedding. You're not getting anything from me. Yep. While the couple have since received multiple kind offers from the community to recreate the experience and take fresh photos, they say it wouldn't be the same given the family flew in from England for the day. I mean, it happens. It happens. They're probably pissed off at it now. I mean, they're probably newlyweds. They're not. How long has it been? Wait till you get a bit older. Wait till you get a decade behind you. So, even if we pay for a fake wedding shot, it's not going to be the same. I'm not going to look the same. The parents are not going to fly back to take fake photos. I trusted her and let her be part of my day and trusted her to take the most important photos, and she basically turned and taken our money, which we worked very hard for. Well, you didn't pay her enough. That should be a warning sign to these guys too. I mean, when someone offers you to do a service for really cheap, that should be careful. You know, that should be a warning sign there too, a red flag. She made me think of our wedding with a dark cloud. When called by news.com, Miss Johnson's partner answered the phone but swiftly hung up. She refused multiple requests for comment. Yeah, I mean, this sounds like it's been a complete nightmare. A Queensland police spokesperson told news.com it was investigating. So I've received a complaint relating to allegations. Referenced investigations are ongoing. And they can't comment, of course, they can't comment. So, I mean, there you go, guys. Let's have a bit of a talk about this. I think the lesson to take away from this is pay for quality. Pay for quality that you're going for. Make sure you go to someone that's got a good body of work, or that you know very well, or that you can get references from, and pay. Okay? Pay. $500 is nothing. And if people are flying from England, put the hat out and say, you know, rather than a gift, can you please donate some money to help cover the costs for our wedding? You know, get a wishing well to help the new couple. Do that. They got what they paid for, and they got screwed over, sadly. But, you know, in 20 years' time, it won't matter. It's just a wedding. It's just a day. It won't matter. Okay? They'll be fine. Or, you know, just pump out, you know, half a dozen kids. Then you have a lot more other stuff to worry about. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Check out my other channels, HeiseBim and HeiseSays International, for other topics I discuss. And not all of them will include wedding photos. But if you want to support us financially, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Maybe I should shave my head again. I'm looking at those photos. Yeah, get rid of the beard, go back to the young baby face. I was looking good in that suit. Yeah, I should do it.